Hello, it's Melissa Goodman, County Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences in Hickman County. And in this episode, we're going to discuss visioning, setting the future of your organization and life. Now, you may be asking yourself, during this challenging and uncertain time, how can we even talk about visioning and setting the future of our organization and life when we don't quite know what the next week or month may bring? But I'd like to challenge you to come along with me on this journey, and let's talk about how we can set a personal vision even amidst this challenging time, and determine some ways that we can think about our organizations and setting the future of those organizations through a visioning process. A vision statement can be defined as a statement outlining the desired future state of an organization. The question to ask during the development stage is, what do we want our organization to be? You may think, well, I know what my organization's vision is, or I know what our organization's mission statement is, but why do we have both? So in this session, I would like to go over both of those. Visioning is when we proactively facilitate a plan for the future, and that usually leads to goal setting. It's a view of the future that everyone can believe in, a shared vision. A mission statement generally describes the business of an organization, the products, the services, the market in which it operates, the public image of the organization, if you will. The mission statement says, why does this organization exist? Where the vision statement asks, what do we want our organization to be? So you may also say, I hear a lot about strategic planning and strategic visions. What's the difference? Well, planning is the process that provides specific direction or meaning to the day-to-day activities. Strategic planning puts the vision in motion. And so it's so important to have that vision, that view for the future that we can look forward to and have shared belief in to be able to plan to meet those goals. And so when we talk about an organizational vision, that's going to require people to come together. And during these challenging and uncertain times, we may not be able to do that with social distancing protocols and healthy at home and healthy at work plans. But one thing we could do is create a personal vision statement this time, or even a family vision statement. During the family or personal vision statement, that's a time to think about what we want out of our own lives. It defines who we are as a person and details principles, beliefs, and values, and it gives us, the individual, the power to create and design our life around our own personal values. So why would we do that? Why would we have a vision statement? I mean, Melissa, I can't even think past the next week without something changing in my work or life right now. Well, a vision statement gives us direction. It allows us to live life with a purpose. It helps us to focus. It creates a positive vision for your future, and it can allow us to live to our fullest potential. Because, as we said, vision leads to goals. How do we write this vision statement? In order to write our vision statement, it might be great to either meet with our family if we're going to have a family vision statement, or we could personally find somewhere in nature or a quiet place in our home that we're willing to spend a couple of hours or 30 minutes on and off for a couple of days, and really use this time to think through the questions. It may help to have a notebook or a journal to write with and your favorite writing utensils. You could also type out these plans and use your word processor or tablet to do the same thing. So when we write a vision statement, we're going to go through the steps, and there are 10. Number 1, what are the 3 to 5 things that make you happy? So jot that down. Reading a good book, serving my community, playing with my grandchildren. Just think about those. What are 3 to 5 things? Some aspect of your faith or spirituality. What makes you happy? Step 2. What are 3 to 5 things you are committed to in your life? For me, 3 to 5 things that I'm committed to is my faith, my family, and my career or my work here through the Extension Service. 3. List 3 to 5 things you are doing right now to use your full potential. Are you taking an online class? Are you reading articles about how to be a better parent? Have you enrolled in a virtual program through your local county extension office? Just write those 3 to 5 things. It may be eating 3 to 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Just think about those things and then write them out. On the next page or the next sheet of paper, write down 3 to 5 of your most important roles. For example, a friend, an employee, a spouse, a parent. What are those roles? A son, a daughter? Next, write down 5 adjectives that describe your behavior in each of these roles. Now, this can be pretty tough, and it may take a couple of sheets to get this all written down, but that's okay. On the next sheet of paper, list 5 priority values. So that could be honesty, truth, things that you really value, time. List 10 of your strengths. Are you punctual? Do you always follow through with what you say you're going to do? Do you have a great sense of humor? Are you willing to try new things? What are your strengths? Number 8, list 3 to 5 things that you would like to do to make a difference in the world. 9, we're almost there. Look at all your answers you gave on the last 3 pages and summarize your 5 life guiding principles, the things you value. Examples could be loyalty, responsibility, hard work, faith. And step 10, we're going to put it all together. We're going to write the first paragraph on your life guiding principles to find who you are. Next, the paragraph introduces your 5 most important roles. Then I want you to describe these 5 roles in individual paragraphs using the adjectives that you use to describe yourself. And then the last paragraph should focus in on your vision based on how you answered all the previous questions. What are the 5 things you would like to do to make a difference in the world? And if the world's too big, bring it down to make the difference in my state, in my area, in my community, in my home. You're probably going to end up with a 3 to 5 page document or vision for your life. That document, that journal entry, can be used when making decisions for your family. It can be used when deciding how and when to contribute to your community. That document can become part of the fabric of your family. We want to have a peaceful home. So when we look at our vision for the future, are the decisions we're making based on that goal to have a peaceful home. If we value peace, then are we doing things within our home to make that vision happen? So you may be asking, what is different about an organizational vision? An organizational vision is usually a statement, typically no more than one paragraph. And there's a 5-step process that you can use to come up with this vision for your organization. The first step is to get the right people on board. Now, in current times, it may be difficult to do this with social distancing and current healthy at home and healthy at work plans. However, you could use virtual means if this was something that was important to you now, or you can file this away for when groups are able to meet together again. Another way to potentially do it is to send this out somewhat as an assignment to just allow people to start thinking about in your organization, what is our vision for the future? And we may need to even narrow it down to what's our vision for the next 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. What does our vision look like amidst COVID-19? Has it changed? These are important things to consider as our organization moves into the uncharted waters of the future. And so, one thing, when we get the right people on board, we need to think about who those people are. We don't need to file it away to a committee. We need to think about who are our stakeholders, our employees, our customers, our clientele. Is it just the people on the leadership table, or are there on the leadership committee, or are there more individuals that need to be a part of this visioning for the future? So the second step of planning a visioning statement is to plan for an effective meeting. And as we all know, right now, meetings are having to occur in different formats, and that's okay. These ideas may be better for implementation later after COVID-19 and whatever that future looks like. But we're going to go ahead and go over them because it may be something your organization's able to do in a virtual or hybrid form. So, 1, make sure that you have plenty of time to go through this process. You may want to choose an off-site location or a virtual location, somewhere where you can spread out. C, for groups with several locations, it's important to come together and have representations from all of those areas. Make sure to utilize a neutral facilitator. The leadership doesn't need to be the one facilitating this. They need to be part of the process. So make sure to choose someone neutral, maybe even outside of the organization, to come in and to lead this visioning for your organization. The next step is to set the stage. Send documents to participants to review ahead of time. Make sure that you are looking at all the different things needed. Do you need a motivational speaker at the beginning, someone to help set the stage for visioning? And it's also important to review the agenda, set ground rules ahead of time. Make sure that people know how the day is going to flow. The 4th step is to develop a process that encourages full participation, openness, and creativity. We want to start out by explaining or defining what a vision statement is. It's important to do this maybe in small groups, which using virtual meeting technology, usually you can do breakout groups, but you could even do this in small groups when we are able to meet face to face. We want to use the following questions in our groups. What does success look like? What would you love to achieve? And if you were to pick up a newspaper 3 to 5 years from now, what would the headline say that this group's accomplishment was? We want to look out 3 to 5 years in this thought process and make sure that we allow time for the group to come up with ideas. Then have each person in the small group report to the larger group. And make sure that you're recording key phrases on a flip chart or on a notepad. And then make sure that the participants have the opportunity to vote on their favorite phrases. And then you want to review those phrases and that receive the most votes and go through and repeat kind of the voting or things that have a few votes and work your way to the middle. You want to seek consensus. And consensus can't always be made in a timely manner. So sometimes you need to take all of the different thoughts, all the different phrases that have come up from that visioning session, and that's when we may designate a small committee to look over those phrases and come up with a draft of what the vision statement is, and then be prepared to give that draft to the bigger, larger organization and receive feedback. And then finally, when you go through that draft and feedback process, you want to communicate that vision and make it a reality. Now, how do we make a vision a reality? We make a vision a reality by setting goals. Some people say it's strategic goal planning, but I like to think about it just as forming goal statements. And we can do that for the personal goal or personal visioning or organizational visioning. Goal statements will work for both organizations. When we look at our goal statements, we need to think that our goal statements are going to provide us with motivation, energy, and enthusiasm for meeting that vision. They're going to help keep us on track. They're going to ensure a greater success and build confidence. When we write goal statements, we need to keep these 5 rules in mind. 1, make sure the goal is something you really want, either personally or as an organization. Always write the goal in a positive manner. Be specific about your goal. Place a time frame on your goal. There needs to either be an end date or a frame of time in which you want to accomplish the goal. And then make sure the goal statement is measurable. Is it something that you can check to make sure that it was completed? Place the goals where you can see them. Now, if it's a personal goal, we want to place them on a bathroom mirror, a wallet, on the refrigerator, on the home screen of your smartphone, or on the backdrop of your computer. You could place it on your nightstand or in a calendar. For your vision goals for your organization, we need to make sure to remind our organization of those goals. If our goal is to increase membership, why do we want to increase membership? What is the vision? If our goal is to make a difference in the community, why? How do we make that difference in the community? How do we get there? What are the goals that take us from point A to the future? So some ideas for visualizing your vision personally could be creating a vision board, and that vision board could be a digital vision board or a handmade collage vision board. Both are ways to actually see and be reminded of the goals that you have to accomplish your vision. So there are some pitfalls when developing an organizational statement, and they can apply to personal statements as well. Avoid cliche, one-size-fits-all statements. Develop a vision with intent to use it for decision-making or strategic planning. We don't want to write this and have it just stay in a journal, in our nightstand, and never reflect upon it. We want to make sure that we're spending time putting that vision in front of our organization or in front of our family, reminding them of where we want to go and what we want to see in the future. We want to make sure to not delegate it to a committee. We want to make sure we have the right players in the room when we're developing the vision statement. We need to have members, clientele, all members of our family. We can even involve children in this process. They can come up with wonderful ideas to share with the vision of their family. And so that's really important to make sure all people are at the table, not just the leadership. And then finally, we don't want this to be some mediocre process that you go through for the sake of going through a visioning process. We want to make sure that we invoke pride in our organization or even in our family to stretch their thinking and inspire them to what the future could look like in our organization or in our personal lives or with our families. So in summary, I hope you've learned something as we've went along talking about visioning, what a vision statement is, the difference between a mission statement, how to write a vision document for our family or personally, and also how to go through the organizational visioning process. You have to have a plan for success. Many people that we see accomplishing goals, just for example, Olympic athletes, they do not go into the Olympic stadium without having goals, a vision, and a plan. And so it's very important for us as individuals to go through that process. It starts with a vision. We can't ever forget. We need that vision to lead us into the future. Also, you get the vision by reaching each goal. And so the goals need to make sure that your goals are heading in the direction you want to go. And finally, we reach goals by hard work, dedication, perseverance, and one of my favorite words, grit. You've got to be a little gritty to meet goals. And so that means not giving up. It also means looking at the goals and maybe they don't align with what the vision is. And so we need to go back and look at those and make some changes. I hope you've enjoyed this time we've spent together. And I hope that you can apply some of the things we've talked about in this episode with your organization or personally in your family. Head over to our YouTube channel, West Kentucky FCS. You'll be able to follow all of our lifelong learning series that we have for the fall of 2020. Additionally, you'll find bonus content to create a digital vision board for 1 month. This video has been brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service, Family and Consumer Sciences. And we are working with the Purchase Area Extension Homemakers to offer this lifelong learning series.